تم بدء التسجيل.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? If you do, put a check. Yes, I think you can. Just let me turn the mobile phone. Right, let's get started then. This will be what we talked about last week. We talked about, well, we gave an introduction about computers and computer parts, and we talked about the hardware and software. We said we have a few main hardware. That's the CPU, the heart of the machine that does all the processes for you. And we said the CPU does two main tasks. The first one is it does your arithmetic. For example, when you do calculations on your computer, when you do multiplications, addition, and so on, it does the calculations for you. The second main part that it controls the programs for you as well. So when you open Word, when you type in Word, when you open Excel, when you do a Java program or any program, it does the computation for you. Right. And we talked about storage as well, and we said we have two also main storages, two types of storages. We have the primary storage and we have the secondary storage. And we said the primary storage, it remembers your work for temporary or short period of time. So for example, when you open Word processor and you type in text, if you do not save it and turn the application down, or if you turn your computer off, the data will be gone. Do not raise your hand just yet, because I'll give you a chance to ask questions later on. Can you all hear me well? Can you all hear me well? Voice is not clear. No, right. Can you hear me? Yes? If you can hear me, put a check. If you cannot, put cross. Can you all hear me? I've got like 100 students, so you either hear me or not. 3 students cannot hear me well. Not clear? Right, not clear. How about now? Further. Yep, okay, further. Right, let me get the new headset. Someone. How about now? Can you hear me better? Can you hear me better? Yes? Much better? Okay. So let's get started then. Right. So as I was saying, we talked about the computer parts, we talked about the CPU, and we also talked about the storages, and we said we have two types of storages. We have the short-term storage, which is called the temporary storage, or the primary storage, that does the storage for you on a short basis. So for example, when you open Word processor and you start typing, it will save instantly, which is why when you put, hi, my name is so-and-so, it is still there for you on Word processor. If you do not save and you turn your application down, you turn it off, or you turn the computer off, the data will be lost. So the line, hello, my name is so-and-so, will be gone. Now, if you want to keep it for a longer period, you have to save it. Now, when you save it, it's going to go to the secondary storage. Secondary storage can be anything like hard disk, flash memory, a CD, and so on. So you have so many means of secondary storages. We also talked about programming, I guess. Yes, we talked about programming, and we talked about the importance of programming. Now, just excuse me, I'm going to turn the chat off for now, so you all just concentrate with me, and then when we have discussion, I'll turn the chat back on. Right. So we talked about the importance of programming, and we said our life all depends on programs. Now, your mobile phone is programmed. Your car is programmed, and so on. So it's like programs now is a part of our lives. So which is why it is very important to start knowing about the programs and start programming ourselves. And in particular, we talked about Java, and we said Java will be the official language that we will be using for this course. Java, as I said, it's quite different from other programs that it deals with anything, any class as object. So it treats any class as object. And we said objects, everything in this universe is an object. The humans are object, desks are object, mouse is an object, and so on. And we said all objects have two main characteristics. Now, do you remember what those characteristics were? I'm going to open the chat again and tell me the characteristics of objects. I just want to test your memory. Let me see if you have secondary or primary memory. Behavior, attributes and behavior. Okay, two main parts. One, you put attributes, one if you put behavior. I hope you all remember. No, so I hope you all remember anyway. We said we have two types of, the objects have two characteristics. One of them is attributes and the second is behavior. يعني زي ما حكينا مرة ماضية خصائص وسلوكيات. كل شغلة في الدنيا لها خصائص ولا سلوكيات. So Java have this as basis. So when you program in Java, it will treat anything and everything you put in Java, it treats it as an object. So you have to specify attributes, and you have to specify as I said, attributes and behavior. Let me give you an example. Right. If we say, oh, there's always a problem in opening text box. Make it bigger. Right. If I say to you in Java, if I say to you, create a object and called, for example, car. So we have a class, turn to English. If we have class car, right, class car. We want to program a car, for example. Now, in how Java treats them, it goes like, okay then, the class car, what are the attributes of the car? Let's say we need color for the car. We need shape, model, and so on. These called the attributes of the car. خصائص السيارة. Now, if we want to program the behavior of the car, we have to open something called a method. A method, which we will be talking about very shortly. Now let's get back to our page, and we'll come back to this now again. Right. And we gave you I remember an example, and I asked you to do it as homework, and most of you did it perfectly. Just to produce a simple line. I hope you have no problem with this, because if you do have a problem, you've got to speak out. You've got to let me know that you cannot program or you have a problem with the programming by emailing me, because this was just the basic. Now we're going to start doing like more difficult material. So you've got to be confident with what we did last week. Most of you did it fine, and you emailed me the work. Thank you very much. Some of you had the problems in downloading or installing the Java. If you still have a problem in installing Java, also you've got to let me know. Otherwise, you will fall back, and you'll have problems in catching up. Right. I think where did we get to methods? Okay. So as I was saying, now we got to methods. Now, as I said, every object in the world has two characteristics: attributes and behavior. And we said, back to this example. Let's go now. Back to this example. If I can get it to open, I always have some problem, right? We said if we want to create a class, as I said, and we call it class, we call it car, and we have to open a bracket like this. I'm sure you know. In Java, you have to open brackets always. If you do not open brackets like the ones I just opened now, you will have an error. So normally I open the bracket and close it straight away, because sometimes you open a bracket, and if you make a big program, then sometimes you forget to close the bracket, and then you will have a silly error. Now sometimes it is a nightmare to spot a missing bracket. So normally, preferably when you do programming, if you open a bracket, you've got to close it straight away. So now we open the bracket and we close it, and we say let's put the attributes of the car. As I said, we have color, for example, as an attribute. ميزة أو خاصية السيارة لها لون. It's got a shape, for example, لها شكل معين. أيضا it does have, for example, model, يعني الموديل ساعة. هذه كلها من خصائص السيارة. not حصريا, يعني the car has many attributes. It has, for example, 4 doors, for example, or 4 tires. They're all attributes of the car. خصائص السيارة زي يعني شكل اللون إلى آخره. Now, so as soon as we set the attributes, now we've got to create the behavior. لازم نسوي السلوكيات. Now, سلوكيات have to be programmed. They have to be programmed. So, in something called a method, So, for example, now here, you can program the car to do, stuff like, for example, we can say, the car, make the car turn right and left. No time. Now, in this method, we might want to make the car turn right or left. So given السلوكيات تاع السيارة، ايش سلوكيات السيارة؟ ممكن تروح يمين، ممكن تروح شمال، ممكن تتسارع، ممكن تتباطأ إلى آخره. Anyway, this is called a method. So remember always, when you create a class in Java, treat the class as an object that must have attributes depending on the program, and might have and it must have سلوكيات. And the سلوكيات can be done in the method. For example, if I ask you to program a clock for me, سووا لي ساعة، برمجوا لي ساعة, you will have the time that has attributes and behavior. The attributes, خصائص الساعة ايش هي؟ خصائص الساعة it has hours, minutes and seconds. من خصائص الساعة إلها ساعات وإلها دقائق وإلها ثواني. طيب من سلوكيات الساعة changing time. Okay, tick goes on. So this is سلوكيات الساعة. So now you can make a method, call it, for example, changing time, for example, and so on. Right, let's go back to the method thing. Okay, so a method, each class, telling you, each class contains declaration of method. كل class لازم يكون فيه methods اللي هي سلوكيات. Each method contains a sequence of instructions. Now, a method has instructions, أوامر. When you program the car to go right and left, you are given it instructions. أنت هتخلي القوانين، هتخلي الالجوريثم عشان السيارة تروح يمين وشمال. A method contains a collection of programming instructions that describe how to carry a particular task. السلوكيات طبعا نحن حكينا الخصائص ما بدها برمجة. خصائص يعني الإنسان من خصائصه يعني ثابتة، لونه راح يكون ثابت، طوله، عرضه، إلى آخره. They're all ثوابت. Now how the human eats, for example، الطريقة اللي يأكل فيها هذه السلوكيات. Okay, this is unique for a person. Now, if you want to create a robot person, you've got to program the robot how to eat. Okay, so you program السلوكيات. Normally, the attributes are method. You put them there, but you have to make a method for the سلوكيات. You have to create a method to do the behavior for you. Right. Every Java application contains at least contains only one main method. البرنامج اللي بعثوا لي اياه for last week, have you noticed that it has the main method? Okay, يعني the main method, the standard way it goes public, here public static void main string out. Okay, when you see this line, this is a method, and it is a main method. And the only main method. Every program in Java has one main method only, and it has to be there. Right. The main method, like العمود للبرمجة. The main method is like a pillar for the programming. And in here you can type whatever you want. Right. Also, in the method, how do you can distinguish a method? A method always has to have these normal brackets, this one and this one, even if they were empty. Okay, so if you wanted to create a method here, for example, you call it method programming. Now, if you see brackets like this shape, right? This is the method. This is how you know if this is a method or a class. So a method always has them brackets after the name of the method, right? Sometimes they are empty, sometimes they are filled. We'll talk about this later. We'll talk about what this means, the filling of the bracket, and so on. We'll talk about it later when we come to talk about construction and so on. Right. Let's go back to the slides. So this is the main method, and you see it's the only main method. Now, the body of the main method contains statements. Okay. نحن ما حكينا انه الميثود has instructions. Now for this lecture today I'm going to give you terminology. راح اعطيكم مصطلحات. اوكي، راح اعطيكم بعض المصطلحات اللي هي يعني تنفعكم في لغة البرمجة. هذه المصطلحات تقريبا ثابتة في لغة البرمجة. We have something inside the method called statement. Statement في اللغة العربية في اللغة الإنجليزية means جمل. بس بلغة الكمبيوتر means أوامر. So when you say in Java you have a statement in Java, it means that you have instruction or order in Java. Do you remember last week's assignment or homework when you printed this line, system.out.println, which was in the main method? This is an instruction. This is a statement. This is a statement. It is an amr, order, instruction. You are telling the computer, you are telling the program to print hello world. You are telling the computer to print hello world. Now, system.out.println itself is a program. Someone who made Java programmed this line to do this instruction. Anything you do, but just don't forget, Java is just a program. So if you don't tell it what to do, it will not do it. It does not understand. Now, whoever made Java, they programmed this statement to print a line. What does if you put in Word, for example, if you open Word processor and you put system.out.println, what is it going to do? Nothing. because it's meaningless. Now, people who made Java, they programmed this system.out.println to make a particular task, is to print a line. So whatever comes after this statement will be printed in this syntax. So if you put hello world, it will be printed. Whatever if you put your name, if you put whatever you put, even if you put numbers, in here, it will create them as just the text. It will print them out as they are. Even if you put 1 + 1, it will give you 1 + 1. It will not give you 2. Anything comes here, it will be treated as text. So you open 2 brackets, and then you open a quotation marks. Whatever you put in between, it will be printed as you put it. So this is the output of your program. So again, system.out.println is a statement. هي أمر أنت عم تأمر الجهاز أنه أو البرنامج البروجرام to print a line. واضح؟ طيب. Also, we have a method call. As I said to you, you are calling this method when you put system.out.println. As I said, the good thing with the programming, many things are done for you. You do not have to program system.out.println to print a line for you because someone has done it for you. Similarly, if you make the GUI, do you know what GUI is? Graphical User Interface. What you see in front of you is a GUI. يعني الآن أنتم شايفين اللي قدامكم اللي هو blackboard. Okay, this is called GUI, Graphical User Interface. يعني الانترفيس ما بينك وما بين الجهاز، انت هتشوف اللي قدامك الان اللي هتشوفوها، هذا نسميه GUI, Graphical User Interface. Behind it there is a code running. وراء الكواليس في كود شغال عم بيسوي لنا كل الشغل اللي قدامنا هسه. طيب الكود هذا you do not have to know the mechanism. As I said to you, I think I said to you in the first lecture, you don't have to know the mechanism of the car to drive a car. يعني ما لازم تكون تعرف الميكانيكية السيارة عشان تسوق السيارة. ممكن تسوق سيارة بدون أن تعرف الميكانيكية تاعها، مش مشكلة. نفس الشيء بالبرمجة، ممكن تستخدم برنامج معين database for example. You can use a database without knowing what is the program running behind the scenes. Similarly, so system.out.println is a program itself. Someone has programmed it. You do not know how to do you do not need how to know how they did it. You only need to call it. So when you type in system.out.println, you are calling the method that prints a line. Similarly, when you do the GUI, you can call a GUI to come to you. You can call a graphical user interface to come to you. You do not have to program it. And there are many other examples for this. All right? Now, as I said, we call this a statement. Now, we call this has got a name as well. As I said to you, this lecture has a few terminologies. We call whatever between the brackets, we call them arguments. That's the name for them. Okay? So we call السطر اللي يعطي أمر, we call it statement. السطر اللي يعطي او السطر اللي او الجمله اللي بدكم تكتبوها it's called arguments. Okay, right. This shows you, this is useful actually, this diagram is useful, shows you the different parts. As you can see, the first line it's got the comment in it, on it. Every program contains at least one class. Choose a class name that describes the programmed action. Normally, by the way, public class, you are declaring a class. So you're telling the program we are opening a class. Now, whatever comes after is variable, متغيرات. اختاروا الاسم اللي بتفضلوه. لكن normally بالعادة we choose a meaningful name. في العادة تختاروا اسم مناسب. يعني for example, if you are programming a car, you probably call the class a car. If you're programming a time, you normally call the class time. For example, يعني بس من باب التنظيم انه يعني يجيب الاسماء والمسميات يعني so it's all consistent. Now the second line, by the way, don't forget, as you can see here, we've got brackets to open and close the class, and we also have a bracket to open and close the method. And you can have as many methods as you want in the class. You can open a class and you can have as many methods as you want in the classes. Right. So the first line is public static void. This is, as I said to you, this is the standard. By writing this line, you know you have yourself the main method. Now, as I said to you here, every Java program contains a main method with their header, or with this header, right? Also, this line, we call it the statement, as I explained to you. It's got the statement, and here we've got the argument. Now, every statement has to end with semicolon. Can you see it? الفارزة المنقوطة هذه. This is, we call it semicolon. الفارزة المنقوطة. كل statement has to end. If you do not put this, you will have an error. في رحلة خطأ. البرنامج will not work. يعني this is the problem with the programming. Sometimes you can have silly mistakes and it will make your program doesn't work. So if your program doesn't work, normally do not panic. Don't think, oh my God, what's happening? A lot of time will be just minor mistakes. So check your program. So if you get errors in programming, normally check your program. The good thing is, most of the modern programming compilers زي BlueJ إلى آخره الجدد, normally they show you where the error is. So if you make an error, they will tell you the line where the error is. So this will make your life a bit easier, so you can track your errors. Right. So this diagram is useful to have a look at. Let's talk about, let me see here and talk about numbers. Okay. Now, so far, before I continue, so far, do you understand what I've been talking? If you understand, put a check. If you do not understand, put a cross. Does anyone understand? 1, 2 people do not understand? Okay, do you all understand? Now, I've got about 150 students, so I want you to answer. Do you understand? If you do understand, put a green tick. If you do not understand, put a cross. Only few of you do not understand. That's no problem. Okay, that's no problem. At the end of the lecture, at the end, probably I'll give you 10 minutes before the end of the lecture, and I will open the discussion, or the microphone, so you can ask me, or you can ask me later by emails. As you can see, alhamdulillah, I'm trying to answer all your emails. So sometimes just be patient with me. I mean, sometimes take me a day or two to answer your emails, but I will answer them eventually. So if you do have a question, either if you get the chance, ask me at the end of the lesson. I'll give you 10 minutes at the end of the lesson to ask questions. If you do not get the chance to ask question, then please email me with your questions. As I said to you like last time, have pen and paper in front of you and write all your comments, all your questions as I speak, so you can ask me later, either by the end of the session, or you can email me with your questions. The good thing is, I hope most of you do understand what I'm saying, so that's a good thing. Now, let's move on and talk about strings. Now, as I said to you before, the sentence between them, quotation marks, العلامات quotations, they're called strings. Strings يعني عبارة عن أحرف. تعريف string, a sequence of characters enclosed in double quotation marks. هو عبارة عن characters حطناها بأقواس quotation marks. Now, don't forget, the character, what is a character? The character is any letter, number, symbol, رمز، يعني نقطة، فارزة إلى آخره، حتى مسافة، space. يعني هون في عندنا، لاحظوا، بين الفارزة وبين الدبليو في عندنا فراغ، space. هذا السبيس لا تحسبوا انه هو فراغ، هو مش فراغ. it has a value، عنده قيمة في الجهاز بالنسبة للجهاز عنده قيمة، ولا كيف يعطي space؟ The space has a value. It is also called the character. Okay, so anything between these brackets called characters. On the other side, we have integers. So we have characters, which are we have strings, which are characters, and we also have integers, which are numbers. Now, with the integers, you can do arithmetic operations. You can do calculations on them. For example, you have the number 3 and the number 4. They are integers. You can you can add them or subtract them إلى آخره. So you can, for example, put our magic sentence. You can put system.out.println 3 plus 4. Okay. Notice here we did not put the quotation marks. If we put the quotation marks in here, it will give us 3 plus 4. It will not add them up, because if you put the quotation marks, it will treat them as strings, right? But here, because we did not put the quotation marks, it treated them as integers. So when you put 3 plus 4, the answer will be 7. Try it in your program if you want to later on at home. If you want to, try put system.out.println 3 plus 4 or any two numbers you want, and you will have the answer. It will add them up and you will have the answer. Right. Now also, let me show you what we can do as well with the system.out.println, or how to deal with the strings and the integers. You can put them on 2 lines. So if you create 2 system.out.println, 2 statements, you will have, for example, you put system.out.println hello. On the next line, you will put system.out.println world. Then you will have hello world printed on 2 lines. So you'll have hello first, and then you have world on the next line. Now let's see this one. Now this one, you are putting HELLO. It will print them like this. Can you see? You're putting every character in a new line. So the output will be something like this. The output will be something like this. So imagine this is the output. You will have it like this. Okay, you'll have it H E L L O. Oops. Oh. Okay. So this would be the output of printing system.out.println, and you put in the separate characters. Now, if you do not, you can also put, right, you can also write system out dot print. I'm making mistakes in typing now. .print. You can put system.out.print without putting the line, and you say, for example, you say hello, and on the next line, okay, on the next line you put system.out.print line world. Now I'm going to open the chance for chat. Now you tell me what would the output be of this program. I'm going to open the chat and just write down what do you think the output of this will be. Okay, now it's not an error. Okay, thank you for your comments. Some of you are right, some of you are wrong. Now, I'm going to close again. Now, the output of this will be simply hello world. Simple as that. Why? When we put the ln here, when we put the ln means line. So when you put system.out.println, you are asking the program to print whatever in the brackets or in the quotation marks and make a new line. Put the cursor on the new line. So make a new line. Now, this is not essential. The ln is not essential. If you take it out, it will not print a new line. So if you put system.out.print and you put hello, and then you put system.out.println world, it will simply print to you hello world. Actually, in this program, it will not leave you a space. Sorry, I made a mistake myself. Now it will print like this. Hello world. It will make it like this. It will not even make a space between them. Why? Because we did not leave a space in between here. If we wanted to separate the hello world with a space, we can simply make a space here or a space at the beginning of world, right? As I said to you, space itself is a character. So if you put a space between the quotation mark, it will count it for you. If you do not put space, you will have hello world as just one word mixed together. Do you understand? Do you understand this? Yeah? Okay? Good. Okay, you understand this. Right. Delete the page. Okay, let's go back. Now, we talked about this. Let's experiment more. What does a question here? What does the following set of statements print? System.out.print my lucky number is, and then on the next line you put system.out.print line 3 plus 4 plus 7. Just as is explained to you, it will print to you my lucky number is 12. Can you see this line? This line here. My lucky number is 12. My lucky number is, and then it will, see here we did not put line, right? So what will happen? It will print them, it will print this one and this one together, right? So it's got my lucky number is 12. Notice something, there is no space between is and 12. Why? Because we did not put a space. If we wanted to have a space here, we could simply do this. Oh. Right, come on. Okay, if we wanted to have a space, we could simply do this. So we put system dot out dot print line. By the way, notice something as well. Dot print, sorry. Notice something. System begins with a capital S. If you write it in a small s, you will have an error. You'll have an error. So make sure it is a capital S. This is called the syntax. We'll talk about errors in a bit. Right. And then put double quotation, and you put my lucky number is, and then right, click on a space and have a space. You can put as many spaces as you want. It will leave them. It will print them, because as I said, space is a character. And then if you do this, you will have a, if I can get the marker, you will have a space in between is and the number 12. Right. You can also skip a line by putting system.out.print line. Right? Can you see? Then we jump on the next line. The next line, if you want to leave it blank, فارغ, يعني ما في شيء في الline, just simply put system.out.print line and quotation marks without putting anything in them. If you do not put anything in these quotation marks, you will have an empty line. You'll have an empty space here. And then you can continue by writing words and إلى آخره. So just this is for you to get a grip on the program. Now, let's talk about errors. Errors, this is the annoying part. المشكلة بالبرمجة دائما، يعني مش دائما، بس يحصل عندنا بعض الأحيان errors. أخطاء، مشاكل. الأخطاء can be divided into two categories. فئتين. الفئة الأولى we call it a compile time error, and the second we call it a runtime error. Now, what's the difference between them? This is a very important subject, and it might pop up in your exam. It's a very important subject, so just concentrate with me. Now we have two types of errors. The first one called compile time error. It is also called syntax error. Now this error happens when you make a mistake in the programming. For example, do you remember when I said to you, if you put system.out.print line, if you make the first S small, this is called a syntax error because it is a programming error. S in here meant to be capital. If you make it small, you are violating the programming, and you're breaking the program, right? So you have to program, and you have to be very accurate with the syntax. Now in this line, can you tell me where is the problem? I'm going to open the chat for you. Tell me what is the problem with this line. You spotted it straight away. Well done. Thank you very much. You spotted it. Now there's a T missing here. Do you remember? It's called system.out. Now there's a T missing here. So this is a syntax error. If you compile this program, it will not work because you have a missing T. So it will not work. Right. If you forget a semicolon, like this one, فهذا مقطع. إذا نسيت على statement, you will also have an error, syntax error. So the syntax error, if it is an error, it happens when you make a mistake in programming. Right. The next type, or the second type, it's called a runtime error, which is a logic error. Now, the logic error is a mistake if you, like a silly mistake you make. For example, look here, system.out.println hello world. You meant to say world, اللي هو عالم, but you forgot the L, you put word. Word يعني كلمة. Now, will the system compile? Answer me. Answer me with the chat. Will the program compile? Of course, yes. Most of you put yes. A lot of you put yes. Yes, of course it will work. But it's a silly mistake. So it will work, but it will give you hello world. It's meant to be hello world, العالم, but it's going to say hello مرحبا كلمة. Right? You meant to say مرحبا عالم. So this is called a logic error. That an error you make, just like, for example, you accidentally you say 1 plus 1 equals 3. Okay, accidentally you type in 1 plus 1 equals 3. It will still work, but the output is wrong because you made a logical error. So this is the difference between a compile time and a runtime error. They are very important. Also, a type of a runtime error called exception is when you divide by 0. Can you answer me now by chat? What is the division by 0? If you divide إذا تقسم أي رقم على صفر إيش الناتج؟ Okay, some of you are close and some of you are wrong. Now, it is not an error and it is not 0. It is infinity. Undefined, that's right, yeah, undefined. Not found, okay, not found, maybe not found, yeah. It is not an error, and it is not a 0. أي رقم أخذناه بالرياضيات في المدارس، أي رقم تقسمه على الصفر يطلع ناتج ما لا نهاية، يعني ما تقدر تطلع ناتج. Okay, it is a problem. So people always avoid to divide by 0. So if you divide in your Java program, if you divide by 0, the program will compile, you will have no error, but you will have this message. It says division by 0. It will tell you that you divided by 0. I do not have answer for this because no one has an answer for division by 0. It is infinity. Okay, they cannot give you a number. Now, let's talk in 5 minutes and نخلص السلايدات شوي على عجالة تأخرنا شوي. Right, in 5 minutes let me talk to you about algorithms. Algorithms. Now, إيش يعني algorithms? Algorithms يعني خوارزميات. Now, why do we do algorithms? The problem, the human problem, if we are given a task, we start working straight away. يعني إذا أعطيتكم الآن assignment، أنا متأكد أول إشي راح تسووه تشتغلوا على البرنامج، وهذا خطأ. هذا خطأ. Now, the best thing to do if you are given any problem, not just programming, any problem in your life, the best thing to do is to analyze the problem first. يعني تحلل المشكلة. أي مشكلة you are given, don't jump straight away to the answers. لا تعطي أجوبة مباشرة وتحاول تعطي حلول مباشرة. لا، فكر في المشكلة. Bring pen and paper and write the problem. Write the problem. حلل المشكلة. إيش هي المشكلة؟ طيب, put your rules, your thoughts on the problem. Now we'll talk about it. Now, algorithm, it's a sequence of steps. طيب بعد ما فكرنا نطلع الالجوريثم تاعنا. الالجوريثم عبارة عن خطوات. احكي لك طيب انا فكرت في المشكلة وجدت حل، الحل 1 2 3 4. هي ما تحصل في حياتنا العملية؟ ما بعض الاحيان تواجهكم مشاكل تحكوا والله الحلول يمكن تكون 1 2 3 4. قبل ما تسووا الحلول، انتم ما سويتوا الحلول لسه. لكن you are thinking about the solutions. This is called algorithm. You are putting answers, you are putting solution to the problem. Now, الالجوريثم must be unambiguous. طبعا تكون منطقية، حلول منطقية، مش ambiguous يعني خرافية أو مبالغ فيها. لا، الحلول لازم تكون منطقية. لازم also تكون executable، يعني قابلة للتنفيذ. executable. Also terminating، يعني أنه قابلة للانتهاء. مجرد أنه حلينا المشكلة تنتهي الالجوريثم. Right. For example, let's take this example. If you put $10,000 into a bank account، إذا تخلي $10,000 في حساب في البنك، وهذا $10,000 تحصل 5% فوائد كل سنة. How many years does it take for the account balance to be double the original؟ يعني كم سنة نحتاج؟ نحن حكينا خلي $10,000 بالبنك، كل سنة 10,000، كل سنة المبلغ اللي موجود عندنا في البنك راح يزيد 5%. طيب يحكي لك السؤال هو بعد كم سنة يصير ال10,000 يصير $20,000. طيب now I gave you this is the problem، يعني مشكلة بدها حل. Now it is wrong to start doing the solution straight away. No, we have first to think about the problem. So you analyze it. Look, you create an algorithm. You say, okay, then I'm going to make a table. For example, year 0, يعني أول ما بلشنا initial year has $10,000. Now, after 1 year, this amount will increase by 5%. So what you do, you times mathematically, you times the $10,000 by 0.05 يعني 5%، يطلع عندك الرقم 500. ال 500 هذه معناتها فائدة على 10,000. What will you do with it now? You will add it to the 10,000. So after 1 year, you will have $10,500. Now, second year, you will bring this balance here, the $10,500. What is the 5% out of it? It is 525. $525 فائدة على ال 10,500. Now, when you get this number, you add it to the 10,500, and then you get the answer and so on. Eventually, you will have a table of figures. Now, after calculation, you will discover that in 15 years, it will take 15 years for this amount to double. شوفوا بعد 15 سنة راح يصير الاماونت 20,000، يعني فوق 20,789 actually، يعني just over the 20,000. So it will take you 15 years. It will take 15 years for this $10,000 to be doubled. See, now so far we did not do any program. We are thinking about the solution, and we're trying to put algorithm. So this is the algorithm for it. هذه خطوات حل. Now, this is we have something called pseudocode. It is an algorithm, pseudocode. It's what you do, and instead of programming, you put your steps. For example, if إذا عندنا مثلا مشتريات بدك تشتري سيارة وإلى آخره، ونشوف يعني كم تكلفة السيارة وكم تكلفة خلينا نحكي قيادة السيارة من بنزين إلى آخره، بكل بساطة نكتب التوتال كوست، المجموع الكوست، راح يكلف لنا البيرتشيز كوست اللي هو سعر الشراء، وراح يسوي عندنا وايضا راح يكلفنا الاوبريتنج كوست، خلينا نحكي البنزين الى اخره والسيرفيسز. Now this is not a line of code. This is called pseudocode, which is a lines that you put as part of your algorithm, just to get your thoughts on the program before you start programming. Now, until here, read the rest for yourself. It's only 2 slides left. Read them for yourselves. Now, if you do not understand, you have to email me. I'll give you 10 minutes to ask questions. But before you ask questions, let me give you your first assignment. This assignment has marks on it. Do not email it to me. Submit it by Blackboard. Inshallah, this week I will make a session on the Blackboard that you can submit your assignment. Deadline is Monday midnight. The deadline for this assignment is Monday midnight. Now, the assignment is, can you see this problem? Can you see this problem? Now, we saw the algorithm for it in the next 2 slides or 3 slides. We saw the algorithm. Now I would like you to program it for me. Okay? So you saw this is the question. Okay? We saw the algorithm for it. Now I would like you to program the algorithm. You saw the algorithm, make it into program. باستخدام Java. Okay? Open class and do the program. So in 15. So in your program will calculate the number of years that the $10,000 it will be doubled. So it will calculate the number of years for this $10,000 to be doubled. Okay, so this is your assignment. I will put it on Blackboard. I will put you a session on Blackboard so you can submit. Do not email it to me, but submit it through Blackboard. I will open a session this week for you to submit your work. Now that's it from me. I will give you the microphone now. So if you want to ask questions, raise your hand and I will give you the microphone. Any questions? Okay, I have a question from Manal. Speak.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Doctor, would you ask? I have many questions about.
Just a second, let me put the volume up.
Okay.
Speak now.
I have many problems about the Java. The first one, I would ask you about the book. We have in university CS book.
Just, I'm going to interrupt you. Can you just repeat your question and speak a little bit up?
Okay. My question is, the first question is about the book. We have two books. The first one in the university, it's about, I think it's five edition or four edition about the big Java. And another one we have it from the website university. It's a little kind. It's a near about the
fourth edition
in the university. Yes.
Yeah, it's fine. That's fine. No problem.
Not a problem. Okay. The another question is about when I see the Blackboard questions about the homework. It's the same like an organism of something like this questions we have it. Some questions you tell me to analyze and program it. This is absolutely.
Just a second. I'm gonna just change the headset because I'm finding it difficult to hear these. Excuse me for a second. I think for hearing, I will have these will hear probably a little bit better. I think. Just for the first question, by the way, as I said, the book doesn't matter. The first edition is very close to the fifth edition, so it's no problem. You can still use the first edition. So, what was your second question?
The second question is about when I go to Blackboard to see our questions, homework questions. I found the difficult for me because this is the first year to study Java. I didn't understand anything. I researched on online on Google to understand Java. I can't. I want to explain questions. What the steps? How can to make food? I don't know.
Yeah, I get your question. That's fine. For the Java, for the Blackboard assignments, forget them. You only work with what I give you. Okay, I know they are the ones on the Blackboard just a little bit maybe difficult for some of you. So which is why I am giving you my own homework. I'm trying to get you from zero. We start from zero and we try to build up. So always follow my instructions. So when I set homework for you, do the homework that I set for you. Now, if you have problems with Java, I will set you. There are many means of learning. Don't forget, you are an open university student, which means that you have to put a lot of effort yourself. So you can go onto Google and search. You can go to YouTube and search. You can read the book, Big Java, the ones you have in Wiley Plus. You can ask me. So if you have a particular question, you can send me an email and ask me about a solution for something or a question that you don't understand. Okay? Now let's take the next question from Sharifa. Now I'm going to let me get the microphone. Okay. Okay, speak. Sharifa? I think the connection is good here. Reem, speak.
Hello.
Hi.
I want to ask you about the Java program itself. Last week I have some issues in my laptop, so I want to ask you because I found too many Java programs. What did you prefer to use? I found like a J Creator.
Right. Okay. So if you have been following my lectures, I did ask you to choose any program you want, but preferably we are using BlueJ. Okay. So you could use BlueJ or any program you prefer, but BlueJ. BlueJ. Okay. I write it down for you. Did you attend last lecture?
No, I have some issues on my laptop, so I didn't.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay. Fine. Nothing. It's called BlueJ. Okay. Go to Google and download BlueJ, install it. But also you need to install something called JDK. Find them on Google, and you have to get the version that says X64. Okay, get the version that says X64. Then you can install it and work with it. Okay.
JDK is the compiler.
Yeah, JDK the compiler and the BlueJ together.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, cool. Next question from Munira. Speak.
Yeah, hi, Doctor. I would like to ask you about a question about the last class because I didn't attend because I have a problem in my schedule. So we can submit our homework for the last week with the new homework or no?
Yes, you can. The last week was just a starter for you. It did not have much.
I attended. Yeah. But you know, it's the basic of the making programs, so I hope, I want to know if I'm doing right or no. So I would like to submit it, just know. Okay, another question about, another question, my laptop is Mac. So how I can, because when I didn't attend the class through the YouTube, I listened to you tell the student we didn't use Mac to submit our homework. So what I can do for that?
Right. Now, the Mac version and the Windows version is slightly different. I use Mac myself as well, but in the university here I use the Windows version. So I prefer that you use Windows. I try to get Windows somehow, either install parallel computing on your Mac, or I try to find a PC that has Windows in it and work with Windows, because when you submit, I'm just afraid. Sometimes there is incompatibility issues or compatibility issues. You will have the version that you make on Mac might not work with Windows, and obviously I will do the marking using Windows. So just in case that you get errors and stuff like that. So I prefer that you use Windows. So try to get Windows somehow, either install parallel computing on your Mac, or try to use a computer that has Windows in it. Okay. Right. Question from Shaima. Speak, Shaima.
Yes, hi, Doctor. I have two questions. About the BlueJ. Before I used for my Java when I sent you before, the escape program. Is it okay, or I have to do it in BlueJ? Are they even the same thing that we can use to write on Java?
Yeah, it's fine. It's the same thing. You can use any program in Java. It's fine.
Okay, and for the last piece in the slide, pursuit code, can you explain that in Arabic, please?
Which
and
one?
The last word that you said before, the pursuit code.
Pseudocode. Yeah, pseudocode basically just like coding, but they are not actual syntax. السyntax كلمة نحكي كلمة syntax تذكروها إذا مصطلح في البرمجة. كلمة syntax تعني البرمجة نفسها، يعني أو لغة البرمجة، يعني الطريقة اللي نكتب فيها. يعني على سبيل المثال system.out.println is a syntax. هي عبارة عن syntax، طريقة لكتابة اللغة فيها. تمام؟ داخل لغة البرمجة. السودو كود هي عبارة عن كأنه برمجة، لكن هي مش syntax. يعني مثلا سيستم بيطلب برنت لاين بالسودو كود اقدر يعني اعوض عنها باستخدام مثلا اكتب سطر مثلا هنا مثلا اكتب جمله مثلا. اوكي، فالسودو كود عباره كانه عم يسوي كود يعني اسطر، لكن هي حقيقه مش كود. يعني لو خليناها في جافا او في ايلو البرمجه ما راح تشتغل، راح يطلع عندنا ايرور لانه مش سنتاكس، يعني ما عندك فيها. لكن هي طريقه بس عشان توضح لنا الشغل وخطوات الشغل، نوع من الالجوريثم. اوكي طيب last question from ولاء والباقي رجاء I'm really sorry I cannot answer all your questions because it's obviously past half of it now. So email me with all your questions and inshallah I will answer them within 2 days. So any question you have, please email me with your question. Right, last question from Wala. Speak Wala. Wala, can you hear us? I can't see you, Wala. Okay, in this case I'll take the last question from Russia. Russia? Yes? We cannot hear Russia either. Mona, last question. I haven't put in actually. Mona?
Hello, Dr. Ali.
Hi.
Could you please explain how we can do the assignments? Like, give us steps or anything, because it seems very hard.
This assignment, the one I just gave you now.
Yeah.
Well, I would like you to try it yourself. Think about it. Go to Google, go to YouTube, read a book, and then if you have any question, ask me. I always prefer. يعني أنا بالعادة أحب أن الطلاب هم اللي يعني يعملوا أقل إفراد. طبعا دائما أنا في المساعدة والخدمة، يعني دائما أنا أساعد طلابي، لكن حب الطالب بالبداية هو اللي يحاول. إذا عجز الطالب وقف في مرحلة أنه خلاص يعني doesn't know where to go, ask me. So I would like you please to try it yourself. I know it might be a little difficult for some of you, especially for those who do not program or never used Java before. To go do search. That's why you are not university students. Do search. ابحثوا عن المشكلة. ابحثوا عن الشغل. If you just do, even if you do something wrong, it's fine. Try it yourself. Try your best and then email me. So if you feel you're stuck في مشكلة في نقطة معينة في شغلة مش فاهمينها، ابعثوا لي واشرحها، ما عندي أي مشكلة. And you have the time. You have until Monday midnight. So there's plenty of time, almost a week, for you to do 6 days for you to do this work. So give it a try, and if you really cannot, and if you get stuck, then email me, and inshallah I can answer, or I will answer your question. Okay? Now I do apologize for this. Sorry, I do apologize. The time is really went past now, so accept my apologies. Please, for the rest of you, I think there are so many people who want to ask questions. Please email me, and I am يعني على بس ما يختار رقم الساعة، يعني ما عندي مشكلة. Email me, and inshallah I will answer your questions by email. Okay? So until next time, في أمان الله.